Part 1 of Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War currently has some of the best animation ever. I am talking about the greatest comeback in anime history. The best fights I have ever seen. Yes, better than Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. It is the pinnacle of anime eye candy. Studio Pierrot did not need to go this hard. But when you notice the big name affiliate companies of the project, you think to yourself, oh, maybe they had to. When they got wind of the anime coming back, they just said, please, take my money. The guys at Studio Pierrot went to the first meeting and really said, we need to show the fans why we are still here after 4 decades of work. And they really did showcase the experience and clout they had to offer. And if there was one other change that the studio got right, it was making Bleach uncensored. See, it's the final arc of the original story, that is, and it has the word war in the title. And you know what that means. Violence, with pools of blood and disfigured bodies. With Tite Kubo there close with the animation works, this is that true canon masterpiece. It is a shame for those of you who haven't watched the show's first run, because when you guys think Bleach, you are probably thinking about the north side of 350 episodes to catch up on, north side of 200 if you exclude the filler. And in there contains one of the best arcs in shonen history, followed by a long-winded arc essentially of the same thing but more fights. There are quite a few showstoppers, and there are other fights that kind of take the literal meaning. If you enjoy fight scenes, you might not be so bothered, but if you're one that tends to get anxious for the plot to unfold, then you might have a hard time enjoying all of the show. But as a fan for 2 of the big 3 who rewatches them and Dragon Ball at least once a year, I'm gonna make a suggestion for those of you who haven't watched Bleach and are stuck on how to tackle the series. It's simple. Follow the canon timeline. The OG series is 366 episodes long. 163 of those are complete filler. That's 45% of the show that isn't related to the main plot whatsoever. And with the internet, it's not hard to avoid that. There are anime filler pages to guide you through all of that. Honestly, at this point, it's on you if you find yourself watching Don Kannoji on one of his escapades with Ichigo's sisters and school friends. You don't need to do that to yourself. And this isn't me completely shitting on all of the filler. There is one arc in particular that easily shines as the best one, and another that I'd always recommend any newcomer to stay away from. There are even singular filler episodes that are not for everyone, to say the least. Though if you do go to the episode guides, there are ones labelled canon mixed with filler. These episodes can range from having a whole half of filler to amounting to only 2 minutes of it. Even though the thought of filler might be grotesque to you, I'd personally advise you to bite the bullet and watch them, because I didn't realise those episodes had filler aspect until I either looked it up or took a leisurely read of the manga from the beginning after already catching up to wherever the anime was. And I say that because I did take breaks along the course of the show's airing, mainly because of whatever filler arc they were in at the time. Because who's religiously keeping up to date with the show on an arc that doesn't amount to the author's story? And that's my point to anyone that hasn't watched the show. Fuck the filler. Just sit back, relax, and put on those 203 canon episodes. If you really can't do that, then there is no shame in watching the YouTube recap videos that are pretty much dedicated to you guys who are at least intrigued and don't mind the odd discrepancy in detail. And now, back to me fanboying over the new series. They killed it with the first part. The second part's 2 episodes released at the time of recording are solid. It's now a question of whether or not they can steady the ship for the rest of the show, which has 2 more parts to be released after the currently airing second part. The first half of the arc is largely considered the better half in the manga. That isn't to say it falls on its head in the latter half, but it left readers scratching their heads at how things got resolved. Many fans are therefore hopeful that the anime would not only pick up from where it left off, but drastically improve on work that Kubo himself expressed was in a hurry to finish due to health reasons. And with the animation quality now on for show and the mangaka still around as a project supervisor, I'll be honest, all they need to do is keep the rest of the show to the opening parts quality, not the peak moments of the last 3 fights. That's too greedy. I'll settle for Ichigo's first solo fight at Karakura Town's quality all the way through, for the sake of more clarity on the climax of the series. So that's it. This show is one of the 2 or 3 shows that kept me weebing in my teenage years. So when I got news that the show was returning to air back in December 2021, I noted in my black book to do a video on the series whilst it's hot if I plucked up the courage to start up a YouTube channel. So I did. It is, and here it is. And expect at least another video about the series in the future. But for now, if you're still watching the video and you enjoyed me ranting, please leave a like. Helps get the video to others who may be stuck on how to tackle the series. Leave a comment, I'll reply to those. Even if you are JJK or Demon Slayer fans angry at my takes on the show, I'll be honest. Season 2 of JJK so far pushed this video forward so that my takes in the beginning are still valid before the show reaches its peak. And if you've watched the first 2 episodes of JJK, then you definitely have the same feeling that Mappa is still cooking with 21 more episodes of the current season. But until that moment, in my honest opinion, Bleach has the mantle for the best looking fights in anime. Subscribe and support black businesses. Roll safe.